I'm doing this second video because this has legs. This is now the Today Show. This was this morning, and they really spell out what this was all about. And before I get into it, yep, thanks Woodrow for the shout out. All right, let's get into it.
So what happened here? Why did you spring into action?
So that question, why did you spring into action, means, what were you thinking at the time that then, made you spring into action?
Unfortunately, a young lady was harassed, intimidated, walking along the street.
Now, the question wasn't, what do you know about, this incident? It's what were you thinking at the time? Now, he claims that while he was at that press conference, he knew what Laszlo did when he left. He claims that he knew about that he'd spoken to this girl and in an inappropriate way and he needed to be tackled. Well, if that was the case, why didn't he break off from the press conference? And however he got that information, go and sort it out. Why wait at the press conference? And then, luckily he's come past so that I tackled him. No, he couldn't possibly have known what was going on. He was at the press conference. He was indisposed. He wasn't on the beat or anything. He wasn't taking any calls. He was at a press conference. So that's just one big lie he's told right there.
I heard enough information and subsequently saw the girl's father chasing that man.
Okay, so that confirms that he's not talking in past tense. He's talking in what was happening at the time, because he clearly just said he had that information, i.e. Laszlo had been talking inappropriately to this girl, and then subsequently he saw the father running. So he claims that he knew that before they were running back, but he could not possibly have known that because, as I just said, he was at this press conference the whole time. He's just telling an absolute fabrication.
Who we'd spoken to earlier, and I was able to apprehend him and let the police investigate what had gone on.
And then right there, he just contradicts himself that he knew all that information, because he says, I just arrested him and let the police do an investigation to find out what went on. Well, you claim you knew what went on, which is why you tackled him. Nah, there's no way this can ever be explained, the tackle, the circumstances, other than that it was completely scripted and made up for a purpose. Now, let's just look at the purposes.
Work about that male and preventing any further offences occurring. That's what it's mainly about, and protecting our women on the street.
Well, thank you kindly for spelling it out, because they like to do that, just in case, some of the public don't get the message that they're trying to plant into people's brains, to what they're trying to condition people, is that what they said that he said, which wasn't sexually explicit, he didn't ask her for sex or anything, he didn't use profanities, he just said, you're beautiful, look, it would be annoying, given his, age and her age, I guess, and he's a nuisance, definitely, but that's what they're trying to do with this story. They're expanding the definition of harassment to something as innocuous as that. And they've concocted this whole football tackling story. They bang on in this interview about state of origin and, playing football and stuff. They've got this tackle. This tackle was crucial so that they could then have focus attention on it and then deliver this message. That's why they've concocted this whole scene.
No, the real message is we're not going to put up with women being intimidated or harassed walking around the street. I heard enough information to take the action I did, and that's what we did. And
so he reiterated the message, and again he told that lie that I had the information that I had and I did what I did, and he couldn't possibly have had the information to justify this whole setup. The script writers, they could have done a better job with this. There's one big gaping hole in the chronology where he reckons he knew it prior to seeing him running when he couldn't possibly have. Okay, I've said that enough times.
And fortunately, we've stopped this male from continuing on his behaviour, which seems to be a bit of a course of conduct. And but we'll talk to the Home Affairs office about this man as well.
Now, in one of the other stories, they actually said he'd been arrested. In Woodrow's video, he says, what, is this real now? Yeah. Apparently, he's off to court for being a nuisance. Well, that's what they're telling us. But also, they're referring it to Home Affairs. Well, don't they deal with, like, terror, supposedly? Most of that's bullshit anyway. But don't they deal with, national security? What? A guy saying to a girl, you're beautiful, can I buy you something? Are you single? Is being referred to Home Affairs? What's a national security issue? They're trying to pump this up. They're trying to expand the definition of sexual harassment and to clamp down on men and to try and disrupt society as best they can. I reckon, try and separate men and women as if the family courts haven't done enough already. And that's what this is about, as well as that bit at the start where he said he was, he believed in Jesus. That was it as well. So look, as for their rewards for doing this thing, I think this girl, she might get a gig as now a spokesperson for some new charity, on some board. They'll put her on a board of a charity or something. Maybe, I don't know. She's been rewarded. And as for that cop, look how old he is. He even says he's, experienced and he's old. He's near retirement. He's not on the up and up. He's not staying in the police force. So, this blows up. Well, he'll be already retired. I dare say his, pension, his retirement benefits has been boosted. Either he might get a spot on some board or some, token gig that he gets a bit of extra cash. But yeah, there's no coincidence that it was an old bugger, not a young guy. I think that was an angle as well. So, all right, that's it for this one. Yeah, I'll go to Woodrow's channel. He did a material that I haven't covered. So, and it's really good. He shows the arrest. He talks about the cops. He talks about the location, how it's outside the front of the cops station. So yeah, and also Woodrow, thanks for the plug. I really appreciate it. I appreciate any plugs I get. I need them, I think. Oh, we all do. So yeah, all right then. Okay, that's it for this one.